Hi everyone, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. His name is Jimmy the Bag. My name is Peter Loshak. This is the Loshak in the Bag show for Monday, April 2nd. We got the college basketball final tonight. We got the first full week of baseball going tonight. We got the NHL and NBA seasons wrapping up this week. So, it's a shift. The waters have shifted in the sports betting season. But I'm feeling okay, Jimmy the Bag. Not too shabby overall, Jimmy the Bag. How you feeling, Jimmy the Bag?
I'm feeling okay. Well, you had a monster week.
That's right, and I tipped Jim off to this before we started shooting. I'm going to, if you don't mind, I'm going to take a little. I'm going to take about 15 seconds here to rattle off my record from last week. Check this out, Jimmy the Bag. This is last week. NBA 18-10, up 7 units. College hoops 8-3, up 4.5 units. NHL 23-16, up 6 units, and MLB 4-6, down about 3 units. But that also includes a couple of ill-advised tails that I did last week that were mostly losers. So overall, including even the NBA, quietly, I'm picking it up, Jimmy the Bag.
You are, and I'm. It's a good time.
Yeah,
to put it together, man.
There's not that many MLB regular season games left for me to fuck up my NBA record, and NHL. As I said before we were shooting here, I'm feeling good about NHL in general. I kind of wish the regular season wasn't ending, and MLB. I had a slight bad start to the year, but I'm feeling relatively confident overall. You know, the lines are very tight. Lines are moving. You know, you see a lot of 9.5s opening, and then they go down to 9. Then you're not sure if you want to bet them. You see, I feel like we're seeing a lot more parity in terms of the odds this year. A lot of games where maybe in previous years there would have been bigger underdogs, and now the lines make a lot more sense. But that's okay. You know, as long as the market doesn't get hyper efficient, we can always find betting value, right, Jim? How you feel about MLB right now, Jimmy the Bag?
Well, I started out the year 8-8, so I'm not sitting here extremely confident. But sure. There's a ton of plays that I like today. I feel completely refreshed.
Awesome.
So I'm ready to have a big week and grind hard. This is going to be one of the toughest weeks of the year, and this is the one day where we get NBA off. So it's I know this is going to be a real grind, but I'm excited about it. Ready to do the work.
Weeks of the year? Why would that be?
For me, we're doing NBA, NHL, and MLB, all pro sports. I cap everyone in its entirety, so I'll be capping 30 games a day.
Oh, okay.
And for me, with, the way I cap matchups and stuff, it takes, at a minimum 15 minutes for a game. So if you times 30 by 15 and do that every day, that's why it's going to be tough.
But look at your record, Jimmy the Bag. The proof is in the pudding with you with your units. You're up 40 units overall in NHL and NBA. Tough sport to be up on, especially with pregame lines. But Jimmy the Bag also still up double digits in NBA. And as we've said, college basketball. I feel like you're easing your way into being an expert college basketball record capper long term, but it takes some getting used to the way the market moves, the way the teams develop over the course of the year. As I said from the beginning, I think that your breakdowns of matchups in general in college basketball are potentially as valuable as your obvious edge and breakdowns in other sports. And look, let's reconvene next year. Maybe we'll have a little bit of a strategy session before the college basketball season next year. And I expect you to do very well in college basketball next year.
Yeah, it's really nice to hear that. But yeah, it was a tough year. It was a tough year in college basketball, and transparency is so important to both of us. So I'm going to be, tweeting when the season's over. I will tweet out my record and take whatever beatings that come from it. I'm not afraid of the record, although I'm disappointed.
Yes. All right, so let's quickly get to some comments. Apparently, there is someone who disliked the show. Bill Butlicker says that's exactly, how can someone dislike this show? Low bag show is life. I don't know. It's up to, some people consider the low bag show to be life. Some people consider the low bag show to just pretty much suck. And who knows who's right? It's like a handicapping opinion. You know what I mean? Maybe they're right. Maybe we're right. Who knows? Who knows? You know what I'm saying, Jim?
Yeah, the haters don't concern me at all because of all the guys on the chat that we care about so much. They care about the show. I just think we got a really good thing going, and I'm excited to see how it shows in our baseball record this year.
It is also Masters Week in golf, and there's a slight chance, no guarantees, there's a slight chance I might be able to find some time to handicap Masters. Jimmy the Bag, don't even think about Masters. It's like you just do what you do. You know what I'm saying, Jimmy the Bag?
I have a couple golf pros that I can get them to send in tapes if we want.
That would be great. I mean, I love handicapping golf tournaments, especially the majors. And, you know, again, I rarely would make a bet on who's going to win the whole thing. That's a little bit, there's too much variance there. But I love betting on guys to make the cut, you know, top 10, top 20, stuff like that. And especially matchup props. Matchup props, as always, just like with horse racing, can be great. So it is Masters Week. I'm hoping that I'm going to find the time and the will to do it. And if I do, I'll certainly share picks.
Cool.
And
yeah,
of course,
I mean, you know, golf isn't one of my sports, but you know, I'll get a couple guys to send in some tapes.
okay,
and we can see.
That's
if we
great.
like it.
Justin Searcy says this show is the best thing since a shirt pocket. That's his opinion. Other people might think this show pretty much basically sucks, and that's their opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's like the Cubs. The Cubs have value, or are you going to take the Marlins? You know. Who knows? Who knows what the right decision is? All right. So let's see. Yes, Tony Ferguson is out of UFC 223. That kind of sucks. That's exactly why I didn't spend any time handicapping that fight, because one of the reasons I don't handicap UFC matchups so far in advance is because I've gotten burned so many times putting in a lot of time handicapping a fight, and then a guy drops out, and then it's all for nothing, right, Jimmy the Bag?
Yeah, and I was telling Pete earlier that the thug named Rose fighting in this big night here in NYC, and so I typed into Google, I typed in thug named Rose, and I was the second image there, which
very nice.
Which put a big smile on my face, and no sign of Pat Barry.
Yes,
just a sign of Jimmy the motherfucker.
And the other thing about golf capping is there are actually a lot of statistics. Because it's an individual sport similar to baseball, there's a lot of meaningful statistics. King Rail says, Pete is a true G. He bets on everything. LOL. Yes, I do, King Rail. I'm also trying to get to the point where I can give plays that I can back up in, believe it or not, cricket.
Sure.
Believe it or not, esports, Jimmy the Bag.
Yeah,
you don't know. Yes.
I've heard you talk about esports. Yeah, no, I'd be very interested to hear what you.
Now, I haven't shared that with anyone yet because I cannot give an opinion or anything unless I truly believe that I'm at least an expert enough, that I'm least knowledgeable in something to fake being an expert in it. You know what I'm saying? Which is not the case with me yet in cricket or esports. But I definitely am looking forward to that in upcoming years, Jimmy the Bag.
Twatty wrote night.
What does that mean?
It means he's not excited about your esport breakdown.
Okay.
But
okay.
I am. And Twatty also said Pierre. He said, shit. Where is it? He said, I have an unhealthy obsession with this show. Apparently, I say puck line in my sleep.
And Bill Butler says esports is where the millennial money is. Yes, that is true. That is true. I'm always looking, trying to tap into the millennial markets. And if the millennials, whatever the millennials like to bet on, that's what I want to be an expert in.
Sure.
All right. So let's get into it. Let's quickly get into college basketball, Jimmy the Bag. You know, one of the things about this show that makes it, you know, maybe either good or suck is that we're honest about our records. So let's throw up the college basketball record one final time. Johan, you got the college basketball record right there? And once again, it's easy to be honest. There's nothing to lie about. As you can see right there would be some big things to lie about with our college basketball record. If I was going to lie about anything, Jimmy the Bag, it would be about our college basketball records. But I don't lie about it.
Yeah, no, it's you know, that's what makes this show real. You know, there's a lot of a big gray area in parts of the handicapping business that we don't need to get into now, but we all know about. And that
we're not going to name any names, but
and we don't approve of that. So yeah, we're going to win, we're going to lose. Sometimes we're always going to be honest with what we do, and overall, we're going to be up, I think, all the time.
That's right. And also, once again, that was my overall college basketball record. But last week, 8-3 plus 4.5 units. I did pretty well in the tournament. And all right, so we got one game tonight. Obviously, Villanova, a massive favorite here over Michigan. I did kind of feel nervous about, like I said, what did I say in the Final Four? I said a lot of times in the Final Four, it is the favorites that cover, even though it seems like, you know, they're giving too many points. The Cinderella teams tend to fall flat in the Final Four. And even when you have two top seeds matched up against each other, like in a regular season game with two elite teams, I'm usually leaning towards the underdog. But in the Final Four, I'm usually leaning towards the favorite. Here, Michigan, Villanova, I'm not going to make a bet on it. I'm certainly not going to make a pick on it. I'd be leaning Villanova minus the points, as great as Michigan is. I'm going to pass on the game completely. Might have a second half play on this one. Jimmy the Bag, you have anything to say about this one before we move on?
Villanova looks like an absolute powerhouse, clearly. Michigan can slow them down a bit. To what extent, I don't know. So the under does seem somewhat interesting. You know, Moritz on Michigan creates some matchup problems. but we've seen these Spellman just take care of whatever difficult matchup gets in his way. He seems to handle it with ease. So, wow, Nostra says, love Michigan.
I mean, everyone is coming in on opposite sides here. Brooke Jordan likes Villanova and the under. Khalif Lee, I'm on Michigan. Ole Miss says line is dead on tonight. Miss J likes Nova. So, you can here. Art Hayes says Nova looks to be too much, and they've been here before. Jordan Smith likes Nova. You're going to get strong opinions, strong educated opinions on both sides.
Definitely. And Underdog Status saying Nova, Michigan, under 145. And then right below it, spread the goat, Nova over.
Dan Kelly says tomorrow will be the final time, Pete. Yeah, we could throw it up one more time tomorrow. The hell? We could throw it up one more time, especially since we're going to be throwing up the NHL record long after the Stanley Cup is over, all the way into MLB season. We're going to be throwing that shit up every other day, despite the fact there's no NHL games. No, I'm kidding around. I kid. Yeah, so as far as this game is concerned, I would tend to agree with Ole Miss, who's saying that the line is dead on. We're getting strong opinions on both sides, which is exactly what I would expect. I might have a second half play here. If you gave me a free bet on it, if you just handed me a free bet, I don't even know. I don't even know what I would do. I haven't even put that much thought into it, Jim. If you handed me a free bet and I had to play the side here, I don't even know what I would do.
Yeah, it's very tough. The line does seem certainly sharp. If I was given a free bet right now, I would take the under.
Yeah, a lot of people liking the under. Brooke Jordan likes the under. Donald Mao likes the under. Punisher likes Nova first half in the under. Definitely seems like more people are liking the under here. King Rail says, I don't like the under. I lean over. Kids are going to be fighting. Yeah, anything could happen in the end of this game. In the second half, I could easily see, first of all, if Michigan's down, they're not going to play a slow down defense-oriented game. They're going to try to run. Even the total, I don't know what I think, Jim.
Yeah, it's tough. But I'm excited about it. I'm going to go down because I got a ticket to cash in at the bet box and maybe make an in play there. It was really easy halftime making in play on Michigan. I got plus 100, and that was just very easy and paid for the night.
Very
nice,
Also,
our man High Win says, Jimmy and Pete, can I got a shout out? And I know he means can I get a shout out? So, yes, you can, High Win. We love having you capping with us. So, shout out to High Win.
Huge shout out to High Nguyen. Huge shout out to High Nguyen. I'm looking for that comment. Where is that one? Yes. Huge shout out to High Nguyen, a guy who does give a lot of opinions. Always keep it very take what he considers, what he says very seriously. You know what I'm saying, Jim?
Yeah, man.
All right. Ole Miss says coin flip. Yeah, I guess maybe I would lean first half Nova. A lot of people saying first half Nova. No one is suggesting that Michigan is good play on the first half. And Huai Nguyen says Michigan does not start well in the first half, although it's sort of like you never know what you're going to get in the college basketball finals. A lot of times I've seen in the past when, especially with the total, when I'm expecting a lower scoring game, it soars over. When I'm expecting a higher scoring game, it soars under. This one, I guess I would lean Nova first half. I guess I would lean first half under. Full game, probably lean over. But I'm definitely not going to be betting this game at all. Maybe a play in the second half, and that's about. Brooke Jordan says Michigan will slow the pace down. Probably. That's what you would think. Yes, especially in the first half. So I'd be leaning first half under. Villanova first half. Full game, I wouldn't take the under. I agree with King Rail. Anything could happen in the second half, especially if Michigan's down big. They're not going to slow it down in the second half. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right. That's it. No pick for you, Jimmy the Bag.
Oh shit!
What happened?
Sorry, it's my boy. My boy is in town in Costa Rica right now.
Which boy?
Rehan Hyder, 1991, is in Costa Rica right now, and hopefully we can get some drinks in this week. It's just such a busy week for me. I'm a little concerned, but maybe come through. Why don't we meet up for a quick one at the Sheraton tonight at NCAA? We'll get some fucking liquor in us, man.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, let's see. Okay, so a lot of times, basically the basic opinion is here that general consensus seems to be Villanova first half and Villanova first half under, and I would agree with that. And Doc NYC62 says, put a gun to my head, under. And on that note, let's move on. MLB. Jim and I are going to be. Let's throw the MLB record up. It's not very good right now, but a small sample size. Johan, you got the MLB record up there right now? Yeah, we got the MLB record. Not very good, but that's okay. I'm feeling relatively confident going forward. Going to be giving a lot of derivatives like team totals and first half, second halves, and stuff like that. And in general, I'm feeling okay about MLB. Let me pull up my notes. For this show, we're going to focus mostly on the on the day games and the 7 o'clock games, and then in the evening show we're going to focus more on the late games, which I think is the way it's mostly going to go throughout the MLB season. I've definitely capped everything up to the 7:35 game. After that, I have no picks, but I do have a couple picks and bets that I made on the early games. Jim said there's a lot that he's liking. Let's start with this one, Jim. We do want to end about maybe 15 or 10 minutes before the hour, because of course you want to get to NHL. There's a bunch of NHL plays that I gave that I bet as well. Jimmy the Bag, what do you like in MLB today?
Well, let's just go in the order as the games come down.
Yes.
First off, I'm on the under in the Twins-Pirates game. First off, it's very cold. Second off, I think Lynn and Tyon can deliver here. Pirates heading to their home opener after a 3-game road sweep of the Tigers. 2 of those games postponed. Pittsburgh had to deal with the day-night doubleheader yesterday in late travel back to Pittsburgh. I think that will affect their offense. The 2010 second overall pick, Jameson Taillon, had his second season interrupted. Obviously with his successful battle against testicular cancer. 8.7, 4.44 ERA, 1.48 whip. Taillon looked very good this spring. 12 and 2/3, 12 Ks, 3 walks, 2.13 ERA, 0.73 whip. Twins began at Baltimore, coming off back-to-back wins, 6-2 and 7-0 after dropping their own opener. Lance Lynn looked great last year. It surprised me.
Yes.
Coming back from Tommy John surgery, I did not expect him to be as good as he was. 11 and 8, 3.43 ERA, 1.23 whip.
I think going forward he's going to be mediocre at his best, just putting it out there.
I agree. I don't think he's a top level, even a top 3 guy in the rotation, and I was definitely against him last year when he came in. But he looked pretty good. 11 and 8, 3.43 ERA, 1.23 whip. In his last start at PNC Park, he got destroyed. 8 runs without getting out of the first inning. He also didn't sign with the Twins until March 12th, so he only got 7 innings this spring, but he looked very good.
Yeah.
10 strikeouts in the 7 innings, 2 walks, just allowed 1 run. Yes, a lot of people believe in the Twins. I understand why they would. But I'm just on the full game under here. Okay.
It did open at 8.5. We're going to have to give you 8 minus 115, though. Once again, Jim, if you really want to lock in the line, feel free to tweet it out, and you'll get the line that you tweeted out at. But a lot of these lines move a half point, a half run between opening and between the time we're doing this show. So if you're liking a total and you feel like it's going to move, you might as well tweet it out.
You're absolutely
I'm going to be doing that as well. It did open at 8.5. We're going to give 8 minus 115 is the best line right now at Bookmaker and Pinnacle. And I think I'm going to give Minnesota on the second half here. I expect a good start from Taillon. I might take Pitt on the first half as well, which I think I might do. I'm not convinced that they're going to, unless he's throwing a no-hitter, that they're going to have him go too deep. I'm expecting 6 innings at most. And after that, I'm liking Minnesota. So I'm actually going to take, I am a believer in Taillon. So I'm going to take Pitt on the first half and Minnesota on the second half. The Minnesota second half, the best line right now that I'm seeing is minus 119. That's the current line at Bookmaker. Minnesota second half minus 119. And let me just find the first half line for Pittsburgh here. Let me just find the first half line for Pittsburgh here, and it will be let me see, minus 130. I'm seeing at Heritage, although SBR odds does not appear to be yeah, hanging. Okay, so I'll talk to these people. They're hanging the first half money line on the first half run line page, but it's minus 132. I'm going to take Pitt first half minus 130. I agree with you, Jim. I'm a believer in Taillon here, and I'm going to take that one. He might throw 5 shutout innings here. Minnesota on the first 5 innings team total under might be worth a shot as well, Jim. What do you think about that?
It might be worth a shot. I'm just not going to double up on this game.
Yes.
There is a game I will be doubling up on. A lot of very interesting comments in here and great stuff. Here, Twatty says Pirates absolutely own Lance Lynn from when he was with the Cardinals. I feel like that is true, but this is sort of a different Pirates ball club now. Dennis Garcia says, Jimmy, I hear you, but feel Pittsburgh will be on adrenaline today. Prefer to fade them tomorrow, which might be extremely sharp, and I'm going to keep that in mind. Elwood, 1266, Pirates in the under. Brooke Jordan, Twins take it today. And Elwood, 1266 says, yeah, Pirates with fade them tomorrow.
All right, what else are you liking here, Jim? I might throw on some other plays on this one, but why don't you hit us up with another one you're liking?
I am on the over at the Royals at Tigers. I know that the weather isn't going to be good, but both these pitchers are fades moving forward, and when they go up against each other, I'm not going to pick a side, just the over. Both teams looking for their first win. Both starters coming off career worst seasons. Hamill had a terrible 2017, 8-13, 5.29 ERA, 1.43 whip. Started 5 times against the Tigers and actually was okay there, 4.13 ERA, but over his career, he gets touched by the Tigers, 6.09 ERA. He looked terrible in 12 spring innings, awful. 5 homers allowed in 12 innings. 5 homers allowed, 13 runs allowed, 12 Ks, 4 walks. Lariano had a terrible year last year as well, 5.66 ERA, 1.63 whip. He had a pretty good spring, But like always, he walked 11 guys in 16 innings, so 2.25 ERA, but a 1.44 WHIP. The Royals hit 255 with a 7.25 OPS against lefties. That will drop, obviously, without Kane and Hosmer. Iglesias and Reyes collided in the outfield. Both are questionable to play today. And I like the over here, full game.
All right, this one did open at 9. It's now down to 8.5, so we can give you a 8.5 minus 105. Not bad, Jim. I kind of agree with that one. And why don't you? But you might not like the first half over a little bit more, which would be a 4.5 minus 127 at Bet Online. Would be the best line there.
That's interesting. Obviously, it's cold.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why the line is going down. It's 35 degrees. It's cold. But these pitchers are bad.
Yeah.
And so as much as it's going to hurt the batters, I don't see how it's going to help the pitchers.
Yes, definitely.
So, I think that when the market changes drastically because of temperature, that doesn't necessarily need to be something that we just blindly follow.
Absolutely, absolutely, I agree with that. Absolutely, 100%. This game has a probably pass for me as far as the note is concerned. All right, let's move on.
What
Jimmy,
is the first half over?
4.5. Well, it's 5 or 4.5. So the 4.5 would be like minus 127. The 5 would be. I think you're right. I think you're right. Just taking the full game.
I think I'm just going to take full game.
Because if it soars over, you cash the full game. If it sneaks under at like 3 or 4, then you still have an opportunity to get over, which could easily happen later on.
Definitely.
All right, what else do you like, Jim?
I am on the St. Louis Cardinals here. I don't like the line I'm getting. I was hoping to get a higher dog line here. Yeah. And it almost made me not take it, but I'm still going to take it. Obviously, Brewers looked great in that opening series against the Padres sweep. Their marquee offseason acquisitions, Lorenzo Cain, Christian Yelich, combined to go 15 for 28. They're both great baseball players. Now, I've had Zach Davies in the baseball pool 2 years in a row, and he just gets off to these terrible starts every single season.
Yes.
And until he proves me that he's not going to do that, I'm just going to fade him. Fade him because we'll get value doing it, because he did win 17 games last year. Awful start to the year. 5.82 ERA also when pitching at home. This spring, he allowed 8 earned runs in 14 and a third, 5.02 ERA, 1.67 WHIP. No sign that he's going to come out firing. And I kind of like taking these guys that we don't have a lot of tape on. Miles Mikolas, first major league start since 2014, spent 3 years in Japan. Obviously, we know the hitters are much different in North America than they are in Japan, but he went 31-13, 2.18 ERA. And it's not even that. It's the fact that the Cardinals gave him $15.5 million over 2 years. So the experts there do think he can do a good job here in the show. Did look okay in the preseason, in the spring, 1-2, 4.76 ERA. Cardinals are 33-14 at Miller Park since 2012, and I would like to get a little more value than I'm getting, but I'm still taking the Cardinals.
I did take the Cardinals when it opened. It was even when it opened, I was hoping to get a little bit more, but I agree with you. In general, it's a fade of Davies, a vague fade of Davies, a vague play on Mikolas, and right now we can give you at Intertops and UWager plus 107. Is that okay, Jim?
That's okay. Yeah,
All
I mean, I had to get it at plus 105. So
yeah. Plus 107 is the best line now. It opened around plus 115 or so. I had to think about what official plays I want to make on this one. I was definitely thinking about the St. Louis team total over, maybe that one, maybe St. Louis first 5 is what I'm thinking about, and I might give one of those or both of those in a second. I'm still checking some other lines here that I might want to give. Why don't you hit us with another game, Jim?
Absolutely. So we're just going to go over the games that I have plays on.
Yes.
So we're going to skip a couple of plays that I don't, but we'll get back to those games because we'll probably have time. I am doubling up on the Orioles Astros. First off, I see a ton of value on the Orioles, and I'm going to take them at this huge dog line, and I'm sure people are going to berate me for it, but I'm also on the over. Astros won 3 of 4 in Arlington to start the year off. Their pitching staff looks excellent, but Charlie Morton might be the weak spot in this pitching staff. We'll have to see. Coming off a great season, 3.62 ERA, 1.19 WHIP. Character guy. We saw the clutch performances in the playoffs. In 18 and a third spring innings, 20K, 6 walks, 4.91 ERA, 1.42 WHIP. Orioles won just 1 out of 3 in their season opening series versus the Twins. First off, I think that these Orioles can smash the ball in the right situation, and this could be it. Also, Chris Tillman is coming off that disaster of a season, so I think I'm getting extra value for him. I don't think he's as bad as he's looked. Now, he looked awful in spring training. So, yeah, I mean, this is a risky play, no question. 7.84 ERA, 1.89 WHIP last year. 8.03 ERA, 1.95 WHIP last year. But I'm an American League East fan, and I've seen him step up. I'm not saying I just – is his career over? Is he done? Because, Buck Showalter wouldn't be starting right now, I don't think. So I think I'm getting a ton of value here, and I'm on both.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm not exactly sure what I think of Tillman in this start specifically. Long term, though, I am I'm definitely looking to fade him, even though he's expected to be bad. I think he's going to have some horrifically bad starts in a row in the near future. Not exactly sure what I think about this one though. Baltimore, the best line would be at the Greek plus 190. Plus 190.
I think that's a ton of value. A ton of value. Now, obviously, the Astros are an extremely good team, but this Orioles, you've seen this Orioles lineup get hot fast.
Yes, sure.
And this is a nice little park to do it in.
Morton is last year, of course, we remember when Morton appeared to have gone on some kind of, I don't know if it's trenbolone or what the hell he's taken, but he's taken something, Jimmy the Bag. And, I don't know if you develop, what's the word, resistance, tolerance to those kinds of things, but he made a real change, and it was, statistically, it was the real deal. He did not get lucky with his change last year.
You're absolutely right.
You know what I'm saying?
And he showed us in the playoffs as well.
Yes.
You can be clutch. He's a clutch guy. King Rail's all over the Astros, and I expected everybody to be all over the Astros. That's why, obviously, I'm getting plus 190. What am I getting on the over?
Plus 190, and you also want the over here, Jim.
Yes.
All right, let me just find the best line for you here, Jimmy the Bag. Where is that one? Baltimore and Houston. The over, no nines, unfortunately. We can't give you 9.5 minus 102. Minus 102. I don't know about that one, Jim.
That's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't know about that one, Jim. All right, Jim's going to take the Houston game over 9.5 minus 102. That's the current line at Pinnacle. The books we use, unfortunately, do not have any, and there are no nines that I'm seeing. No nines I'm seeing. I wonder if Bet365 might have it, but I doubt it. Over 9.5 minus 102, and the Baltimore game plus 190. So, Jim, not a believer in Charlie Morton for this game. Expecting an over and expecting a value with Baltimore.
I do. I think this is a great spot, and it's just key to find them this year. It's key to make these plays. If I'm sitting here taking minus 1.5 favorites, and we've already seen that in my record so far, it's just not going to be successful long term.
That's
I need to find
true.
these plus numbers, and I found one
here.
That's
absolutely true. All right, okay, let me just, Richie Incognito says, streaking Orioles. The problem, there's going to be so many comments. I want to get to them all. Let's see. Twati says, Garrett Cole was awesome yesterday. Yes, I was on Houston yesterday, first full game and second half. Let's see, what else do we have here coming in? Dan Kelly. Wow, grab Baltimore plus 1.5, plus 110. Dan Kelly agreeing with you, Jim.
That's great. God, I love it. I think Dan Kelly's so sharp. Having him on my side really helps.
Very nice. Minus 110. Nostratota says Tillman is the worst pitcher going today. Worse than Cologne. Wow. Khalif Lee says, I'm on Baltimore. Okay. Wow. Interesting. Okay. Let's move on, Jimmy the Bag. What else do you have?
I am doubling up also.
And also, Aaron Bowen says Morton struggles against righties, and Baltimore is righty heavy. You might have something there, Jimmy the Bag.
I love the. I mean, obviously, it's not. You're never comfortable betting on Tillman, but Richie Incognito says I'd like to play. A ton of cappers that I respect are saying I like to play, and that gives me a lot of confidence.
Okay,
here.
What else are you liking, Jim?
I'm doubling up now. Matt Harvey has made my life better. He's just made my life better, even when he was good, and now that he's bad. I love the dichotomy. I love him being great and being god-awful. Now, Harvey, off this break, might be able to do something. He might be. But until he shows me he can, I'm going to fade him, and I love Ben Lively. So I'm on the Phillies and the Philly team total over in this game. Mets got off to a nice start, taking 2 or 3 from the Cardinals. Matt Harvey obviously looked awful. He allowed 2 home runs per 9 innings over the last 2 seasons. Velocity down to 93.9 from 95.8. Walk rate gone up to 10.9% from 4.9. His well-hit average soared to 221. 221 from 102. Third worst in the league last year for pitchers who have at least 15 starts. Finished last year with a 6.70 ERA, 1.69 whip, and he's in his head, overthinking everything. He looked better in spring training. 18 Ks in 20 innings, 6 walks, 4.50 ERA, 1.35 whip. He's looked better, but I'm just going to fade him every chance I get. New manager Gabe Kapler certainly seems like an asshole. Making asshole decisions. I can understand any Phillies fan being very upset. Obviously, managing 1 year of Class A ball in 207 might not be the right fucking resume to be a major league manager. But after the few questionable decisions, I love Ben Lively. Great rookie season, 4.26 ERA, 1.29 whip. Looked awesome in the spring. 23 innings, 15 Ks, 2 walks, 0.83 whip. I like it a lot. I'm on Phillies and Philly team total over.
All right. I agree with you, Jim. This was definitely a plays that I made myself. I'm going to stick to the first half, though. I'm going to take the Philly first half Team total over 2 plus 104. That's current line at Pinnacle. And the Philly first half money line plus 104. That's also at Pinnacle. And you want all that stuff on the full game, Jim?
Yes, I do.
All right, let's find you the best full game team total here for Philly. Let me just find it. Pinnacle has 4 plus 101. And we'll give you that one. I'm sure that's the best line. All right, Jim's going to take Philly team total over 4 plus 101.
Really, did not hang in any 3.5s?
I don't think so. I
got Bet365 gave me 3.5 30 minutes ago.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Okay, let's check I will check Bet365
so
right
much.
now,
Sorry,
and then yes, let me check. Let me check Heritage. No, Heritage is 4 minus 105. All right, let's check Bet365.
Thank you.
Bet365.com. All right, and Jim also wants the full game money line for Philly. I'm using SBRodds.com here, of course, and the best line will be at Intertops plus 105. Intertops plus 105. Philly money line plus 105. Well, I check Bet365.
Thank you so
right
much
now.
for checking
Sure.
it for me.
Oh my pleasure, Jim. I always would line shop for you, even if it's something that's not on SBR odds. If it's team totals, I will check the actual site. All right, while I'm checking this for you, Jimmy the Bag, my pleasure. Why don't you hit us up with another play that you're liking here?
I am on the under in the Red Sox Marlins game today. Brian Johnson versus Trevor Richards. Very interesting pitching matchup. Very interesting game here.
Yes.
Marlins look good, going 2-2 in their season opener 4-game series versus the Cubs. Trevor Richards makes his MLB debut against a tough Red Sox squad that took 3 or 4 in Tampa to start the season. Man, what a story about this kid. Definitely fell for the story. He was named 2017 Marlins Minor League Pitcher of the Year, going 12-11, 2.53 ERA, 1.03 WHIP. Heard about that in his side job as a teacher's aide.
Mm-hmm.
And in elementary school, where they all celebrated for him, he allowed just 1 earned run in 12 spring innings with a 1.17 WHIP. No Division I scholarship offers out of high school. Went undrafted after 4 years at Drury, Division II school. At the start of 2017, Richards was among Miami's top 30 prospects. Miguel Rojas looking great, 333, 444 on base. Had the walk-off hit in that 17-inning game.
I did just check Bet365, and I'll be damned, they have 3.5 minus 130. You want that one?
I do.
Philly team total over 3.5 minus 130. Line chopping, always important, no matter what kind of bet you're making, what your bet size is. Go ahead, Jim.
Thank you. That's wonderful that they're still hanging that.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So I love this kid. I think he can pitch, and he's a tricky guy. He pitches at 92 miles an hour. It's all about picking his spots and location, and he's a smart pitcher. And then and Dietrich and Castro are playing well. Remember, we didn't know how Castro was going to handle playing on this team, and he seems to be enjoying it. And then Brian Johnson, two-way star in college. He'll get to hit. He hit 405 as a freshman in 2010. By 2012, he won the John Olerud Award as the nation's best two-way player. Red Sox drafted him in the first round. Made opening day roster this year for the first time. 6'4", 235 pounds. Is an okay start, to his career. He's throwing a shutout. Last year, he went 2-0 with 4.33 ERA. He looked great over the spring. 15 2/3 with 13 Ks, 3 walks, 1.72 ERA, 0.83 WHIP. Bogart looks great. Marlins were good against lefties last year, but we can just put a line through that because that's Stanton, Ozuna, and Yelich. I like the under. I like it a lot. I'm on it full game.
I would agree with you on that one, Jim, and I was thinking about throwing the second half under as well. The full game under, I believe, is 9. Let me find it. Where the hell is it? Yep, here we go. Line chopping. 9 minus 113 at Pinnacle. Jim's going to take the Miami game under 9 minus 113. My only slight concern about this one is the Miami starter. I know you got to it. You think that despite the fact that this is his debut, never pitched above Double-A, that he should be good enough here to get an undercasher.
I'm pretty interested in this kid. Pretty interested in watching him hit and. Watching him pitch. I'm interested. When I broke down his numbers and when I went on to a Baseball Reference and just looked at different things, I was like, man, I can see why they're letting him go, and I can see why he was a 2017 minor league pitcher of the year, and I'm excited by the spot. And but yes, I mean, this isn't. Anytime you're taking a kid who's making his debut up against a Red Sox lineup that's hitting, you'd obviously be nervous about it.
Well, I agree with you, Jim. I'm going to take this one. I am going to take the under 9 minus 113 along with you at Pinnacle, and I'm also going to take the second half under, which on this game, which will be Boston Miami second half under 3.5 minus 119. That's the line currently at Bookmaker. So I'm going to double up on this one, under 9, and the second half under 9 minus 119, 3.5 minus 119. I apologize, we're not getting getting to as many comments as we like to, but there's just so much stuff to get to. If it was up to me, I would have 2 heads, 1 head exclusively devoted to reading comments in this show.
I agree. Twatty thinks he's going to get touches on Boston run line. Khalif Lee says Boston wins, man. And then Udon Porn Ratana Facti says Boston money line big.
I was also thinking about hedging that slash with a Boston -1.5 play, as well, because I do feel like Boston is by far the better team here. I don't trust Miami despite and I did have them to fade Yu Darvish. I didn't tweet it out, but I was thinking about doing that one as well, Jim.
I can't believe they signed Yu Darvish for that money. After what we saw him just completely collapse in the playoffs, how you can invest so much money into him. That's a great fade on the weekend. So what would you get on the Boston -1.5?
Well, I'm going to take it -1. I'm going to take Boston -1. This is a partial hedge of what we just did here, because I think if it goes over, it's much more likely because Boston crushes this guy than because of Miami hitting. And the -1 line, the money line will be -131. That's the money line at Bet Online, and then the run line part of that will be +126. That's the line at Pinnacle. So I'm going to take Boston -1 as another play that I am adding on here. I just want to see if there's some comments here. Holly Dilly says Boston line dropped big. Why? Let me see. Did it drop big? Did it drop big, Jim? I thought it dropped from the opener. Yes, +155. Probably because some sharp guys with their models think that it should not be that big of an underdog, despite the fact that a first-time starter is going here. I'm just not a believer in Miami right now.
I think that's a good play, and in fact, the more we talk about it, I think that the Red Sox -1.5 is a really nice hedge. Could you let me know what I would get on that play? On
+126.
126.
All right. Okay. Tuate Latte says Boston is 30 games better than Miami. We're getting some. I want to get some comments here. Let's see. Normel says let's get some winners today. Yes. Let's see other comments here. QQQ Wilson says, Pete, off topic. Is your bracket alive? Yes, it is. I'm probably looking at a $500 payout. There might be a slight chance. I'm not sure, depending on what other people pick. I might get a $750 payout. And as I've said many times in this show, yes, $500 is a lot of money to me. A hell of a lot of money.
Sure.
All right. What else do you want to discuss?
I think that is the play.
Twatty likes Boston run line. Khalif Lee says Boston wins, man. Let's see what else do we have.
I think it's a nice little hedge for me.
Molly Mal likes the Phillies. Yes, we're on the Phillies as well. Let's see. What else do we have? Here? Once again, I apologize for not getting to more comments. I really wish you could get to more comments. And hopefully when we get more of a flow with MLB, we'll be able to bounce back and forth a lot better. Right.
When it's just solely MLB, it'll be much easier. Okay, I think that is the play. I think that's a nice hedge, and I'm thankful that you mentioned it. And all the guys on the chat, thank you as well. I'm definitely going to make this bet and make it an official pick. I'm gonna jump on as a little hedge the Red Sox -1.5.
Okay, Jim's going to take Boston run line +126. That is the current line at where are we at Pinnacle as well. Okay, very nice. Let me see, what else do we want to get to here, Jimmy the Bag? First of all, let me just review all the picks we've given, and then we'll get to more. Jim likes the Pittsburgh under 8, Philly team total over 3.5 -130, St. Louis money line +107, Miami under 9 -113, the Houston game over 9.5. Boston run line +126, Philly money line +105, and Baltimore money line +190. My plays are Pittsburgh first half -130, Minnesota second half -119, Philly first half team total over 2 +104, and the Philly first half money line +104, Boston -1, and the Miami game full game under 9 -113, and the second half under 3.5 -119. What else are you thinking about here, Jimmy the Bag?
I have one more play, and then obviously I'm interested in the other games which we can break down, but my final play is I'm on the over in the Nationals Braves game. The Nats coming off a 3-game road sweep at Cincinnati. It's Rourke versus Newcomb. Newcomb's a lefty. Adam Eaton, who I have in baseball pool, went 8 for 13, 7 runs scored, 2 homers. He looks great. After the Nats went 29-9 against the Braves in 15-16, they just went 10-9 against them last year. Braves scored 27 runs in their 2-1 series win over the Phillies at SunTrust. And Braves are going with Sean Newcomb. Had a great rookie season, or a good rookie season, let's say. A good rookie season last year, 4.9, 4.32 ERA, 1.57 whip. The whip was so high because he just walks a ton of batters. He walked 57 batters in 100 innings, but struck out 108. He had a great spring, 15 and a third, 2.35 ERA, 0.91 whip. Only walked 5 in the 15 and a third, so that's an improvement. We know the Nats hit lefties hard. They just, and I don't trust Tanner Rourke. And I think that 2016 was just I don't want to say fluke because, an aberration. Let's say that. After an incredible 2016, struggled 2017, 13-11, 4.67 ERA, 1.33 WHIP. He struggled in the spring, 18 and 2/3 innings, 7.23 ERA, 1.50 WHIP. I don't trust Rourke, and I know that these Nats hit lefties hard, and I'm on the full game over.
Okay, best line would be 9 plus 100 at a bunch of places. Okay, that is definitely interesting there, Jimmy the Bag. I did not have a chance to break down that game, so I have no opinion as far as bets are concerned as of right now. But there are two games that you skipped over that I think I might have some plays on. First, let's talk about the 4 o'clock Eastern game, Cubs against Cincinnati. It's a very interesting one. A Cincinnati starting pitcher is a guy who I kind of don't necessarily want to fade, and Chatwood, of course, for the Cubs, despite his small stature and having some control issues, actually pretty decent. And there's some promising numbers for him coming up this year. I'm not exactly sure what I think about him here, but I was thinking about taking the Cubs either on the full game or the second half. What do you think, Jim?
I think you're bang on. I picked Tyler Chatwood in the baseball pool in my reliever spot.
Yes.
I think he's in a great spot to succeed. I mean, we know he just got lit up at Coors, and every time he left Coors for over his whole career, he's been great. But Tyler Mahle is someone I'm concerned about fading as well.
Right.
Cubs have gone 13-6 at Great America Ballpark over the last 2 seasons. Cubs were 15-4 against the Reds in 2016, 12-7 against them last year. Coming off the season opening sweep, the Reds are coming off the season opening sweep. Chatwood, $38 million, 3-year contract. That's big money. Yeah. 8-15, 4.69 ERA in 33 games last year, but very good away from Coors Field, 3.49 ERA, 2.57 ERA on the road the last 2 seasons, second lowest in the National League. He looked good this spring, 21 and 2/3, 2.93 ERA, 1.29 WHIP. Mahle made his major league debut. He looked very good. Went 1 and 2, 2.70 ERA. He threw 23 and 2/3 spring innings with a 0.97 WHIP and 4.56 ERA, but he got lit up in his last start.
Yeah.
6 runs, 10 hits over 4 innings. So he was actually dominant all spring and then got touched in his last start. This is a tough game, and that's why I left it off.
I'm taking the Cubs second half minus 140 as an official play. Cubs second half minus 140. And now let's talk about the White Sox and Toronto, another interesting game. This guy Lopez for the White Sox had some promising results in the minor leagues. Hasn't really translated into a great success in the majors though. But I'm thinking that once again the White Sox might be a little bit undervalued here as a plus 150 dog, and I would be leaning the White Sox on the second half as well, just in case Garcia has he's a ground ball pitcher, just in case his sinker is working, and Lopez gets lit up. What's your take on that game, Jim?
I just need to see Jaime pitch in this Jays uniform. I don't trust him at all.
Garcia.
Jaime Garcia.
Yeah, I don't either.
And so yes, I think there's a ton of value in the White Sox, and I was just I was afraid to pull the trigger here. Jays got a big 8th inning grand slam to beat the Yankees 7-4. I don't know why Aaron Boone intentionally walked Josh Donaldson to get to smoke. It's just an ass move. Center fielder Kevin Pillar looked awesome. He always starts the year like this. Garcia making his debut. He had such a strange season last year. 4.41 ERA, 1.41 WHIP. We know the White Sox hit lefties very hard, very hard. 280 average, 773 WHIP. 280 average was just one below the top 2 teams in the league, and one of them being the Astros. Yeah, he looked good in spring training. 13 and 2/3, 12 Ks, 2.63 ERA, 0.88 WHIP. And the White Sox are going to have a fresh bullpen. But Jaime looking good in the spring threw a wrench into my plans. So that's the problem. He looked very good. He just looked in control, 0.88 WHIP, 2.63 ERA. And Ronaldo Lopez has never proven that maybe it's a mental thing, but his stuff is really good. He just always has control problems. He had control problems in the spring with 11 walks and 18 and 2/3. Yes, I think there's a ton of value on the White Sox. Okay. I'm not taking it.
David Barraza says White Sox offense is legit. Anon 101 says I'm fading the Jays all season. This spot, you have to get that plus money. Khalif Lee says I'm on the White Sox. My line is plus 165. Tuate Latte says I love the Sox offense, but staying off it. Justin Searcy says Jaime is garbage. Justin Searcy says I took the White Sox. G-Man Hag says Jays have one player playing well. Fade the shit out of the Jays. Udon Born Ratanafakti likes the over on this one. Jensen Bonzone, I'm still not on my hometown Jays. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna take a shot here. I'm gonna take the White Sox second half minus 110, and I'm also gonna take a shot with the White Sox -1. Garcia, a lot of time, Garcia throws a sinker ball a lot. A lot of times sinker ballers have high volatility because when their sinker ball is working, they're basically unhittable. Every ball goes to the ground. When the sinker is not working, they're basically throwing batting practice pitches and they get crushed. You see a lot of this shit with sinker ballers.
Yeah.
7 innings, 2 runs, 7 innings, 2 runs. Then those like 1 2/3 innings, 9 runs type starts. When they're off, they get crushed. High volatility with sinker ballers, so I like to take sinker ballers with big underdog lines. I'm going to take the White Sox -1. The money line part of this will be +153 at Bet Online, and the alternative run line part at Pinnacle. You don't get as huge alternative lines with MLB as you get with NHL. If you were taking an alternative puck line on a +150 dog in the NHL, you'd be looking at like a +400, 450, 500 type line.
Yeah.
The White Sox are only +233, but I'm going to take that one anyway. I'm going to take White Sox -1. +153 on the money line and +233 on the run line, and I'm also taking White Sox second half -1 to that 110. I'm not going to take a team total here though, because if Garcia is on again, you're probably going to see 7 innings and 1 run, and yeah.
Tomore comes in and says, I'd lean White Sox, but backing young pitchers on the road. First start is hard. Sox haven't seen Garcia before.
Yes.
And
that's why I'm taking second half and a high dog line.
Yeah, no, I like your play.
Yes.
I do. And I think I might be making a mistake leaving it off, but
No.
I need to see Jaime pitch for these Jays, and I need to see Lopez handle being on the road,
Yes.
because he's just walking too many batters. And you can say a lot of things about the Jays, but they are a patient group at the plate. So
there's people who would say, and they have a good argument, that any bet you make on a sporting event is when you're making a mistake. There are people who would make that argument, Jim.
I don't speak to those people. I want nothing to do with those people.
High five! Don't speak to those people. Me neither. Fuck those people. Fuck them.
Fuck those people.
All right. I think that's about it for the early games. Once again, we will get to the late games this evening, including Bartolo Colon starting. When I first saw Bartolo Colon as a pitcher who was signed by Texas, I thought it was a typo. I thought it was fake news. If it's not fake news though?
It's not fake news.
What the fuck? He's really starting for Texas tonight?
He is, and both families are doing great.
Wow. All right, we'll break that down, the hell out of that game in the nighttime show. In the evening show, as of right now, here are all the MLB picks. Once again, Jim has Pittsburgh under 8, Detroit over 8.5, St. Louis money line +107, Miami under 9, Atlanta over 9, Houston over 9.5, Boston run line +126, Philly money line +100, Baltimore +190, and the Philly team total over 3.5 -130. That's a shit ton of picks there, Jimmy the Bag.
I like it.
My picks are Pirates first half -130, Minnesota second half -119. Philly first half team total over 2, and Philly first half +104. White Sox second half -110. Cubs second half -140. Boston -1. Miami under 9, and Miami second half under -119, and the White Sox -1. I've got a bunch of picks there too, Jimmy the Bag.
Yeah, I like it. I like where you're at. I like your card a lot. I remember so well at IFBC when we all jumped on Bartolo Colon.
Yes.
That road start, we all cashed.
Mm-hmm.
The group of us must have made like $5,000.
Yes.
It was hysterical. That was so fun.
Mm-hmm.
Picking the right time to believe in Big Sexy and get paid out like that was hysterical.
Listen, yeah, I mean, it's I had a really good read on Bartolo Colon last year. I faded him most of the time, and even when he had better starts, I was off of him. But regular viewers of our show last year will remember that from MLB season. So I don't know what I think about him this year, but it's certainly interesting and exciting and just a whole lot of fun.
It's a whole lot of fun.
A whole lot of fun.
Yeah, it is.
All right, okay. Let's see what else do we have here. I want to get some comments, but we've got to get to NHL. Let me look at this shit. Justin Searcy says, love that number 1 pick, Pete, -1 pick. He's talking about the White Sox.
Yeah.
Jim Bean likes White Sox +1.5. Jim Bean, I disagree with that because when it comes to games like these, I like to +1.5 means you're betting into low volatility, and I see this game as very high volatility with both starting pitchers involved and the White Sox offense. So
I agree. I don't plan on taking any +1.5s all year.
That can have value as well. It's just
I'm not going to take it all year.
Right. When you're taking a big when you're buying or selling runs, when you're taking a big favorite line, what you're really saying is I expect lower than average volatility in this game. And when you're taking a big underdog game, what you're saying is I expect higher than average volatility in this game. So Jim Bean, when you're taking the +1.5, you're handicapping low volatility in this game, which I would say the opposite is the case. I'm expecting high volatility in this kind of a matchup. All right, let's see what else do we have. You Down Pouring Rats on a Vac. He likes the White Sox team total over, Pete. I would agree with that. again, unless Garcia's sinker is working, in which case you're going to get a strong start from him. Let's see. All right, a ton of comments that I would love to be getting to, but I just we just gotta move on. I scanned back about 15 minutes, and the first comment I look at is Norm L. I'm baffled Bartolo Colon still has a job. Awesome. Let's see. Okay. I'm just scanning comments. Once again, I really apologize that there were so many comments that we didn't get to today in today's show. We're still adjusting to the MLB schedule, right, Jim?
Yeah, and we're going to get, especially soon, we're going to get to playoff time. We're going to have a ton more time for the chat because we know all the gold here in the chat. Native Queen coming in. First 5, Pittsburgh.
And the under. Yeah. Yes, Native Queen. I'm on Pittsburgh first 5. And she likes Detroit and the over and St. Louis, Jim. We're both on St. Louis and the Detroit game over. Did you take that one?
I have. Sorry, let me go over my shit.
I don't even fucking remember. Who the fuck? Yes, you do have the over. Over 8.5.
Oh yeah, I love the over there, and it went down from 9 too. So I'm going against the market. And then
okay.
What's
that is a good sign.
And the Pittsburgh under. She's got all. I'm on all those plays.
Kevy K says, by nature, baseball games have low volatility. That is a complex question that you could write a PhD statistical dissertation on. Maybe we'll get to that, but we don't have time to address that today. It's a fascinating comment, though. Kevy K says, by nature, games have low volatility, and we're not going to discuss that. I don't even want to get started.
I love Kevy K, though.
I love Kevy K here. Yeah. It's just, I'll be talking for half an hour.
No, I get it. But I love capping with him. Great capper.
All right, let's see. Some other comments here, and then we will move on to a NHL, which I do have some plays that I'm liking here. Tom Reno says Pittsburgh's lineup is underrated. Adding Dickerson was huge. I think the Pirates will be a good bet at home. I'm on them today. I would agree with that, Tom Reno Tomor, unless the market is ahead of that and starts surprising. What's so funny?
Twice says Bartolo has a dirty microwave.
Yes.
I'm certain of it. I'm certain that it's just got tomato sauce caked all over it.
Yes. King Rail likes the Sox first 5. Okay. Let's see. What else do we have here? Mally Mal says pound Cologne. We're going to get into that in depth in the evening show. Let's see. What else? There's just so many fucking comments. I wish you could read them all. Let me see. Okay. All right. Let me see. What the fuck else do we have here? Oakland A's. We're going to be talking about that one in the evening. Bill Butlicker says the $750 that I might win in my bracket. You can get a Bosley treatment for your hairline, Pete. Thanks, Bill Butlicker. Yes, I could. I think I would look good with plugs or au natural the way I am right now. Let's see. Whatever the hell we have here. What else do we have here? All right. Let's get to NHL. How about that, huh?
I'd love to.
All right. We threw the fucking college basketball record up. We threw the fucking MLB record up. So guess what we're going to do now? We're going to throw this NHL record up there before we get into some picks. Look at this shit, Jimmy the Bag. Look at this shit. I know you're thinking you had a bad week because you broke even. You're still over 40 units on the year, and I'm climbing up there. Look at me, mid-30s, slow and steady, creeping up. Second half of the year ascension as is standard for me or common for me in second halves of all seasons. And let's see some interesting shit. All right, let's first start with this Buffalo-Toronto game, right?
Sure.
Now, Buffalo, when I took Buffalo at home against Detroit, a lot of people said, don't take it, Buffalo sucks. And, of course, they did lose, so they broke even with the team total over. But they've now had 2 consecutive wins as a massive underdog on the road. One of them came against Toronto, and I'm not sure how much Toronto cares about this game. I know they lost to Buffalo before, but they're not thinking, oh, maybe Buffalo's better than us. No, they're looking at the playoffs. We got a massive line here once again for Toronto. What do you think, Jim?
You're right that Toronto doesn't care about this game.
Yeah.
But McElhaney does. He's playing exceptionally well and could possibly create a goaltending controversy moving forward. 1.75 goals against average, .944 save percentage in March. Sabres are coming off a 7-4 win at Nashville on Saturday night. There was that huge hit and then that 5-minute power play, and the Sabres took advantage of it in a way that I thought they could do earlier in the year. Reinhart had a hat trick. I told you, as soon as Reinhart started rolling, this team looked good. Jack Eichel had a career-high 5 assists. The big thing is that Eichel just steps up every time he plays Austin Matthews. We know the Sabres are going to take this game way more serious than the Leafs, but they have Robert Lehner in goal, who's god-awful. 3.43 goals against average, .896 save percentage. He is such a bad goalie that I don't really want to take the Sabres, even though I see a ton of value. I think you're absolutely right. There's a ton of value. Leafs are 27-10-2 at home. They have no reason to overexert themselves, but Babcock wants them playing in a good spot moving forward. Swiatek says, this is a tricky one. McElhaney 1-3 versus Sabres in his career. Babcock said he's not resting players. Austin Guy says, I feel like Buffalo wins as a plus 200 dog.
Yeah, I mean, normally this would be a game that I would be staying off of, expecting Buffalo to be a big underdog, but expecting the spot to favor Toronto. But, I mean, look, if the line was like minus 2,000, of course you take Buffalo. I mean, how high can this line get before you're saying, all right, books, you suckered me in. I'm going to take Buffalo here.
Yeah, but I mean, we just can't let the recency of that 3-2 victory cloud the way we were capping, because that was a different situation.
Yeah.
You know, where we were getting a ton of value. We knew that Eichel was going to step up in that situation. I feel a little uncomfortable. If Frederik Anderson was in goal, I'd be more comfortable fading the Leafs.
Kevy K says it's Chad Johnson.
Oh, it is Chad
What do you
Johnson.
think about that? Austin Guy
Confirmed.
says taking over 6 minus 102, only play on this game. But you really like McElhaney here in this spot, Jim?
I am very concerned. He's in that sneaky spot,
Yeah,
with no pressure on him, where and he's playing out of his mind, and he's going to comfortably create a goaltending controversy. Even though Babcock will go Freddie Anderson game 1 without a doubt, but God, he's playing extremely well with no pressure on him.
Antoine Seymour says Buffalo plus 250, great value. Yeah, I don't think there's any 250s available, but there's plus 200s.
I like hearing that Chad
Oh,
Johnson.
shit. No, there is 250s. There are. Totally. I'm sorry. I was looking at the first period lines. Yeah. I was thinking about taking Buffalo in the first period to start out maybe a little bit stronger. I don't know if I want to take them on the full game, even at plus 250. But what do you think about just the first period, Jim? It's just with Chad Johnson in goal.
No, I'd rather have Johnson in goal.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd rather have Johnson in goal. Yeah, you know, he's a
Doesn't matter.
He's a character. I'd much rather Robin Lehner. He's just a bad goaltender. Johnson steps up sometimes, has some big games. You know what? I just feel like this is too much value to pass up. I just didn't want Lehner. You know what? I'm going to finish capping this game more, and I'm going to just take a note here. I'm going to have time. There's only 4 games. I'm going to have to cap in the afternoon, so I'm not going to pull the trigger yet, but. I may pull the trigger on the Sabres and Late Show.
Okay. And my lean was to take Buffalo on the first period or the first period puck line, and maybe a shot with a Buffalo team total over 2.5 plus money. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't know why would bother really taking the team total over when McElhaney's playing so well and we're getting so much money on Buffalo winning outright.
Well, because then, if Toronto wins 6-3, just like with Buffalo's last game where I took them and it was a bad play, but I still broke even because I took the team total over on that one. That's why, Jim.
Yeah, I get it. I get the play. I just think that the Sabres is giving all the value here in the full game.
All right, you know what? This is a 7 o'clock game. I'll make my final decisions about this one during the day, and then we'll come back in the late show and make a decision and make our final picks on that one. Next game on the docket is Winnipeg and Minnesota, and Winnipeg won at Toronto last game. They're winning most of their games, but do they care about this game?
Winnipeg
Jim?
at Ottawa.
Right, Winnipeg at Ottawa. But they won at Toronto in their last game. Does Winnipeg care about this game, Jim?
They don't, and I'm on the Senators.
Okay.
Jets are coming off the 3-1 win at Toronto. I'm very impressed how they're doing it. But again, the Leafs weren't trying that much. Let's see a quick Swiatek comment. Also, tricky Buffalo off that huge win over the Preds, but they had some terrible losses in the past.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Hellebuck, incredible again. 41-11-9, 2.36 goals against average, 924 save percentage. Numbers that should put him in the Vezina race, but they're going to want to rest him over this final week of the season. And I'm not sure if we have a confirmation on who is going to be in goal at this point. And I'm not sure if he's going to be rested yet, but he will be rested at some point. Senators coming off the 2-0 loss at Detroit. They've given up 143 home ice goals this season, second most allowed in the league behind 147 surrendered by the Islanders. If they win tonight, they would tie their longest home ice winning streak of the season, 2 games. 16-18 and 6 at home, 3-7-0 over their last 10. It's a fan appreciation night in Ottawa tonight. And there's a bunch of giveaways, and they're trying to kind of get that horrible taste in everybody's mouth out of the way. And I just feel like the Senators have reason to play, and the Jets have no reason whatsoever.
Right.
But Kevin K says Hellebuck is confirmed.
What about the under here, Jim?
I think the under is probably a really nice
That
play.
was a bet that I made, and I'm going to add that one on here. Ottawa, under 6 plus 100. Ottawa, under 6 plus 100. That's the current line at Bet Online and a few other places. That's an official play for me, Jim.
I think that's a really nice play. I'm going to take the under 6 at plus 100 with you, and I'm also taking the Senators full game.
Okay, under 6 plus 100, and Jim's also taking Ottawa on the money line. Line chopping here at SBRodds.com. Bookmaker and the Greek have plus 170, and you wager. Wow, plus 170 just on the money line. Wow, geez, I wonder what the alternative puck line would be on that one as well.
I've been thinking about all we've talked about with the alternative puck line, and how I've left a ton of money on the table. And I just don't think I would make the plays knowing that I was only taking I don't think I would. I wouldn't have the confidence to do it.
Right, because you are going to lose most of those plays. Right now it's plus 411.
That's
so
huge.
you only have to win 30% of those bets.
Wow.
So you're going to be losing, even if you do have an edge, you're going to be losing 70% of those bets anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So do you think, when we look back at the season, do you think when I like these dogs that I should be next year, let's say, should I be taking them on this?
I mean, I haven't been writing in all the possible alternative puck lines in the spreadsheet. So, but you can go back and estimate them. I can give you all the picks. You can go back and estimate them if you want, Jim.
Yeah. No, and I've got them. I've got the picks too. It's something I'm definitely going to be thinking about and talking with cappers over the summer.
Yeah. All right. So Jim's going to take the under and the Ottawa money line plus 170. I'm just going to take the under for now at 6 plus 100. Might throw on other plays on this one in the evening show. Then let's move on to a Carolina, Florida. This is an interesting game, right? Carolina lost at home to the Rangers, and now they're officially out of the playoffs. Now, sometimes teams that are initially the first game after they're officially eliminated from the playoffs, they do bounce back in a strong way. I'm not sure if we're going to see that here from Florida. Florida lost their last 3 on the road. They are in the thick of the playoff hunt, and I don't know. I'm thinking, is Florida a good play here, or is Carolina going to come back here? Is Carolina going to come in here and be like, well, we're out of the playoffs, fuck it, let's just play well in our last home games and that's it? Or are they going to come back here and be like, let's show people that we're not a shitty team? What do you think?
I'm on the Panthers puck line.
Yeah.
I think the Panthers have to prove something back home. That 1-2-1 road trip was devastating. Put a nail in their coffin. 2 weeks ago, they had a 75% chance of making the playoffs. Now they have a 14% chance. Luongo will be in goal tonight. I know he struggled with injuries. I know a ton of people were against him, and a ton of people were against him. And you were right in that game. He allowed 3 goals early, but then he got his shit together. I'm still a believer in this guy. Moving forward this year. I don't know about next year, but this year, I think that he will step up and can step up. And, all year, 15-11-2, 2.56 goals against average, 926 save percentage. Hurricanes coming off that 2-1 loss at home to the Rangers. They're out of the playoffs 9 straight years. Their offseason signings did not work. Scott Darling is terrible. Justin Williams had a down season. He's old. Cam Ward expected in net tonight. He's 5-5.
No, it's Darling confirmed.
Is Darling confirmed?
Darling confirmed.
Good. I'd rather have Darling if I'm fading them. I think the Hurricanes have thrown in the towel, and the Panthers need this desperately. Now, the Panthers aren't going to make the playoffs. They're down by 7 points with not enough games left, but they need this desperately. High Wind saying Jimmy, I'm all over the Panthers tonight. Swiatek saying 2 words, Scott Darling. I'm absolutely Khalif Lee on the Hurricanes money line. So Austin Geist on the Panthers puck line. And our man Rich Banks says, you two set the highest standard. SBR higher-ups take notice.
Thank you so much, Rich Banks.
What a great guy.
Motherfucking Banks.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you so much, Rich Banks. Thank you so much. All right, I freaked out a little bit too intense, but I do fucking love I really do live for this shit. You know what I'm saying? I sit in my room 1 a.m. on a Tuesday morning just looking at the positive comments.
I get it. Life's tough.
Oh, it's tough, Jim. Oh, it's tough,
but
Jim.
But the Panthers puck line's going to make our life easier.
Yes, Jim. All right, I bet this one, so I'm going to take him on the -1 line as well. The puck line plus 182 at Pinnacle is the best line we can give you right now. And I'm taking Florida -1, -157 on the money line at Pinnacle, and plus 182 on the puck line as well. Might throw on some other plays as well, some team totals or whatever. But let's move on. Next one: Washington, St. Louis, Edmonton, Minnesota. Tricky games. Colorado against LA. What else do you like in here, Jim?
I'm on the Blues puck line this evening. Capitals did their thing last night. Much respect to them. Whether or not they can do it in the playoffs, we'll see. There was a celebration. They clinched their 3rd straight Met division, although that hasn't helped them. Grubauer came back and looked excellent. Holtby will be in goal tonight. 4-2-0, 2.95 goals against average, 897 save percentage in March. The Blues are coming off an ugly 6-0 loss at Arizona. Everything about this spot screams St. Louis to me. Carter Hutton got lit up trying to come back. Jake Allen came back. Jake Allen had a great March, 2.27 goals against average, .916 save percentage. Blues trail the Avs by 1 point. They need this desperately. And the Caps have no reason to put in effort. I'm on the Blues puck line.
That's interesting. I was looking at this line and I was like, man, do I really want to fade Washington as a dog? And then I was like, maybe the market is telling you what you should be doing here, Jim. St. Louis, completely. Right?
I agree completely. They're telling us what we should do.
So you don't think that what happened here? What happened? Oh, we're up. Okay. You don't think that
I just feel like
Washington
the NHL
doesn't care about this game?
I don't think they're going to care about this game. No, not at all. And the NHL's a little different because it's all about effort.
Yes. All right, Jim's going to take St. Louis on the puck line. Best line will be at the Greek plus 180. At the Greek plus 180. You like this one, Jim?
Oh, I do. This is just a perfect situation. Coming off a 6-0 loss, you have to win to keep your season going against a team that celebrated last night. Oh, God, this is just absolute. I don't want to say gift because you're also, you're going against Capitals. Capitals have been bad. They're 20-15-5 on the road. They've lost as many games as they've won on the road.
Because last time I tailed you in a game involving, okay. I was not told about this. We need to wrap it up for the next live show, Bracket Busters. Okay. Okay, we need to wrap it up pretty soon. Do you have like 10 minutes? Okay. Less than 10 minutes?
Okay.
All right.
We'll fly.
Okay.
Here.
The last time I tailed you on a game involving Washington was against Carolina. Remember when they were a favorite?
Yeah.
But I trust you. You believe in this one, right? I mean, St. Louis should be a better team than they got shut out at Arizona, right?
It's just a situational spot that's just perfect. The Blues were a complete mess, looked terrible. Hutton came in, looked awful. Now we know Jake Allen's going to be back. Well, I just feel like this is a really nice spot for us to make money.
All right, I'll take that one. Again, Jim, I was looking at this one. I was like, the market's telling you to take St. Louis here. So I'm going to take that one as well. St. Louis, -1. The money line, -162. And the, minus 160 at UWager. And the puck line, plus 180. All right, now we get Edmonton, Minnesota, Colorado, LA. Is LA also in a similar spot where you take LA here? What do you think, Jim?
No. You know what? I don't trust this LA Kings hockey team. Now, there's a bit of a problem here with my capping of this game. A bit of a problem. And that's just that I've got it's only $100 bet, but I've got them to miss the playoffs this year, and I want that to hit. Avs are on the second half of a back-to-back. What the Ducks did to them is made me fucking pump my fist. Down 3-1 in the third period, coming back to win overtime to run with us in the playoffs as we'd hoped. The Kings destroyed the Avs 7-1. Both teams need this game so badly. Bernier is the starter moving forward because Varlamov is done for the year. I mean, yes, things point to the Kings should be able to take care of business. They're 20 for 20 in their last 20 penalty killing situation. League leading rate at 85.1. But I just didn't think there was value when I was looking at it this morning on the Kings. What would we get right now on the Kings?
Okay, we got to wrap it up. The puck line on the Kings would be plus 145 or so.
Yeah, I'm not making a move on the Kings at this point.
Okay. We got to wrap it up.
I do have a play on the Oilers.
Okay, we got to wrap it up. Okay, just tell us what the play is, and then we'll.
The Wild are done.
Okay, well, just give us the play,
Ryan
Jim.
Suter out with the broken fibula. I'm on the Oilers full game, and I'm going to fade the Wild the rest of the year.
Okay, the Edmonton Oilers full game will be plus 170 at the Greek. Jim's going to take Edmonton. Plus 170 at the Greek. We don't have time to recap all the picks in NHL, but all these games start at 7 o'clock Eastern time, so tune into the 6 o'clock Eastern time show. We'll review all the picks that we've given, analyze the late games in MLB, and we will have some more picks for you. 6 o'clock Eastern time. Thanks so much, everyone.